Hello, you guys. Good morning. Here's crazy. Let me get some better light in here. Ow. Oh, that didn't work. Oh. That didn't work either. Okay. Let me just have this build up for a minute. You can invite some people. Let me know when you guys are on. If you could share this in the chats, that would be awesome. All right, there we go. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So, hopefully this stays up. Yes, it does. Nice. Why is it so? There we go. That's a little bit brighter. Okay, guys. So we're away on vacation in a Soyuz with our family, just visiting family, and everybody's at the beach. I'm here. I'm working my list because that's what you've got to do. Okay. So I wanted to just talk about something. I was talking to a distributor this morning, and I just know that if somebody's going through something like this, if somebody feels like this, I always know that if one person feels like that, somebody else does. And, I try to cover like everything in this business because I know that, when you work on social media, the highlight reel comparison game is like a real thing, right? And sometimes it's easy to get it all like twisted in your mind. So I just like to talk about all ends of the spectrum in this business. Oh, there's the comments. Hey guys, good morning. But I wanted to just go over this because I think it's something that's super normal and, like everybody's going to go through it. And I just want to talk about it. So, there are going to be times in your business where you just feel like you're in a funk. You just feel like, I've had times in my business where that's the best way to describe it. You just feel like you're in a funk. Maybe something happens. Maybe somebody quits. Maybe a customer is unhappy. Just things happen. Maybe you feel like you just have so much life going on that this is like the last thing that you need. I've also felt like that. And I think with social media, sometimes you look at other people and you're like, wow, like their life just is so much easier than mine, or like it would be so much easier to be successful in this business if I was that person. But in reality, the social media highlight is just that. It's a social media highlight. People are seeing what they want you to see, not maybe what actually is like happening in the real life. And so you guys, this is the thing. This business is not easy. Anything that's worth having it's just not easy. Like nothing is easy. Working a job, right? Like that's worth having. We got to pay our bills somehow. So let's say your job is a server, right? You're not going to go to work every day and it just be fun and easy. Like there's going to be days where you would just rather do anything than go to work. Like I remember sometimes I'd like have a fight with Mike and the last thing I would want to do is go to work and serve because like you don't want to do that. You don't want to deal with people when you're in a mood or when you're upset or emotional or something happens. Like it's just hard. But when you have a job, like you have to go to your job because if you don't, you're going to get fired, right? There were many days like where I didn't want to go to TELUS. I've had like just so much stuff happen. Like I'm just like I can think of specific situations that I just like won't get into here because it's irrelevant, but just things that I've had happen or feelings that I felt and I did not want to go to work, but you always push through it because you just have to. Like if I stopped showing up to my job, I'd be fired and I wouldn't have a job and then my problems would be bigger because I couldn't pay my bills, right? So I think you just have to realize, in this business, you're going to have days where it's hard. You're going to have days where you don't feel like showing up. You're going to have life happen to you. One of the examples that hit me the hardest, and I know this is extreme, but I was listening. I don't know if you guys follow, there's a girl named Lachelle. She's like a top earner. And she came on one of our Zooms and she was sharing her story and, she had worked this business and life had happened and, whatever, but then she got a call one day that her mom had cancer, like terminal cancer, and she was able to, drop everything because of this business, go pay for cash, $45,000 for medical treatment for her mom who's now cancer free. And the message for that, for her Zoom was like, you need to work this business, maybe not necessarily based on what's going on in your life right now, but working for what may happen. And that's something that has always kept me really fired up, you guys. If I'm just going to be real with you, like, as you grow in this business, your problems kind of change. Like when you start, the first problem I find is that you're you're new and you're nervous and you don't feel like you can do this and you're scared of what people are going to think, and like that's like where your problem lays. And then maybe you go from there and maybe you promote to Ruby, and then now you're in this like stuck in this weird position where you're in Ruby and you want to get to that next level and maybe you don't know how. So then now the funk is like that you're sitting at Ruby and you don't know what to do to get to the next level. Now as my team is growing and we're like one of the fastest growing teams and, just a huge team with thousands of people on it, like, now we have different struggles. Like there's just different struggles. Like they say every new level, there's a new devil. And it's just really true. Like if you're not creating new problems for yourself, you're not growing. And that's like something that I hear when I listen to personal development. Like if you're not experiencing new problems, you're literally not growing as a person. And that's what I want. I want new problems. Like if you guys listen to Be Obsessed or Be Average by Grant Cardone, he's like, you need to embrace these new problems because that means that you're growing. And so, you guys may be at a point in your business right now where there's something that's holding you back, whether it's your mindset, maybe an opinion of somebody, you just not thinking that you can do it, whatever the issue is. And this is what pushes me through all these times, okay? I know what I want from this business. And obviously with every level, again, it's always changing. Like at first it was $500 a month, and then it was to make 1,000, and then I wanted to make 5,000, and then I wanted to retire. Like you know what I mean? Like my goals are always changing. And I know I always like keep my vision on what happens if I'm successful in this business. Like, even though there are some days when it's hard, and I always tell you guys too, like, I have hard days in this business 100%. You guys just don't necessarily see it because I'm not in the chats talking about it, or I'm not like sitting there talking to my teammates about it. I think it's wasted energy. I just like don't like to do that. But I do have hard days in this business. But the reason why I continue to have success is because even when I'm having hard days, even when me and Mike fight, even when my kids are being, whatever, even if I'm sick, even if we're on vacation, no matter what the situation is, I treat this business so seriously and I show up for it every single day. And sometimes that looks different. Like if I'm having a hard day, maybe I'm not going to message 200 people, but I'm going to spend the day making sure I'm growing my network. I'm going to spend the day making sure that I'm posting and my business is open. But I'm also doing a lot of personal development in the back end, right? I'm listening to like personal development. I'm being so intentional with what I'm doing. I'm not just sitting there saying, woe is me, this is happening. I'm like, how can I make this better? You guys, there have been times like in my business, and you guys have probably heard me talk about this before, but we promoted to double diamond, and then the next month a whole emerald leg quit. The whole emerald leg, like I'm talking like we went from like $7,000 a month to $2,000, which I know some of you like are like, wow, I would kill for $2,000 a month. But I mean, when like any level, any like avenue of that is hard, right? Like if you like seeing a drop is hard. And no matter what in this business, I've always shown up. I don't sit there and like complain to my team. I don't sit there and like bitch. I just literally keep my eyes focused on what this business will bring me if I'm successful. And I think the first part is knowing that you can be successful. Like that, sometimes our brains tell us these weird things because we want to go back to being comfortable. But the reality is, you guys, is anybody can be successful in this business. And that's what I knew. Like if other people could be at home with their kids, I already knew I could be home with my kids. I knew that the people that were home with their kids making, $5,000, $500, whatever your goal is, I knew that if they could do it, I could do it. And I knew that they also went through hard times. So literally that's what I was just keeping my focus on. I knew that if I made this business work, I would never have to drop my kids off to daycare. I knew that if I made this business work, I wouldn't have to clock into a job anymore. I wouldn't have to have the different stresses of life, like working 60 hours a week and having somebody else like raise my kids, like even though this business is hard sometimes, and yes, people are going to quit or say something happens, maybe you get a status made about you, like whatever happens, like I knew that even though that was hard, it was also going to be hard on the other side, right? Like if I didn't do this, like I was going to have to drop my kids off at daycare. I was going to be in a lot of debt. Like we were $60,000 in debt when I started this business. I knew that if I didn't make this work, like I literally, like the thing for me is like I have kids, right? So it wasn't just about, oh, I want to be home with them. It's much deeper than that. Like I wasn't going to be there. Like I got to watch McKenna take her first steps the other day. Like I shouldn't have been here for that. I should have been working, right? And so it's things like that keep me going. And then I think about the future. My kids are young, they're 3 and 1, but when they're in elementary school, like I want to be the mom that's able to just be there anytime, be on the field trips, anytime, show up at the preteen dances, anytime with my whistle, stay away from my kids. That's what I'm going to do. I want to be there for those things, right? And so even though some days this business is hard, and I want to give up, which I don't. But like, you know, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just hard. Like stuff is going on, whatever. Like I will always push through. You'll always see me being consistent. And if I'm doing things and not getting results, I'm going to learn how to be better. I'm not just going to like keep doing the same things, because I understand in this business, you can't have it both ways. You either make drastic action to be better or you don't. And if you choose the route where you don't, and you're scrolling and you're doing whatever, you know, like we're just wasting time. Like, you guys, that's why I'm not in the chats a lot. I'm not in the chats talking, because it's not income producing. Like, it's not because I'm not trying to help. It's just, it's not income producing. I'm not in the chats talking. Like, if I'm on my phone, I'm working, right? I have this like little list that I check off every single day. Like, that's what I'm doing. And so even though it's hard sometimes, I think of the other hard that I would deal with. And so I encourage you guys to like ask, like, what is the alternative if this doesn't work? If you don't make this income, like, what does that actually look like for you? Are you now not able to pay for your car? You know, are you now not able to be there for your kids? That should be way more terrifying to you than this business, right? And I think the first step is just knowing that you can do it, but very few people will actually just do it, right? That's why people buy a gym membership and they quit. Very few people will go to the gym and continue to go to the gym, because when it gets hard, people bounce. I'm not willing to do that. I will never, ever, ever look at my kid and be like, sorry, I stopped working this business, so I'm because somebody quit and that made me emotional, so now I'm not going to be here for you. Like, no, I would take a bullet for my kid. So you better believe I'm going to get out of my comfort zone and be consistent in a few things from home while I'm with them, right? And I think another thing is like, you know, I understood the freedom that this business could bring me on many, many aspects. And so, I mean, people are willing to go to school, like leave their kids, go to school, go to school and work at school, not getting paid for 3 or 4 years, so they can hopefully get out and be with their kids. And I'm not trying to diss school, but what I'm saying is, like, if you really see the value in this, why don't you spend some time learning how to be good at it? You're not just going to be good. Nobody expects somebody to just walk and be good. But, you know, when I look at Stephanie Dunn, when I look at the #1 income earner, and she still shows up to things, that is like a really big eye opener for me. Like, if the #1 income earner is still showing up and learning, I can tell you that me, you, anybody that's watching this, we are not done learning. If she's not done learning, we're not done learning. So it's almost really ignorant to like think that it's sustainable by not showing up and being committed to yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, on the flip side, I think to myself, what happens if I don't, like, if I were to, like, you know, I'm in a Soyuz right now. Like, we have our whole family here. They're like all at the beach right now. Like, do you think I'd rather be at the beach spending time with my kids and like whatever? Absolutely. 100%. But I also have this like nightmare board. I know, like, I'm not like you guys, like, we're top earners in this business. Like, we make really, really awesome money. But I'm like, I know that if I don't continue to do what got me here, it won't last. And so that's why I'm like, I'm working not out of fear. You should never work out of fear. But I work on the fact that, like, I will work hard either for myself or for somebody else. And if I work hard for myself, it's giving us just options. It's like, you guys, like, you get one time on this earth. Like, that's what's so trippy. Like, you get one time on this planet, on this earth, with your kids, with your family. You deserve to be present for it, you know? And it's like, if you don't, and I don't even care, like, if you don't really put an effort into like what you're trying to do, like, if your goal is to make $1,000 a month to stay home, like, if you don't put that effort in, you need to know that if you don't work hard for yourself, you will end up working really hard for somebody else that never gave up on their dreams. Like, you just will. And that's why I'm committed to myself. I'm committed to the team. Like, even if I have a hard day, if I have something that's going on, I still will show up. I will still do training. I will still show up. I will still have resources for you guys, because that is what matters. And so, yes, you guys, some days it's going to be hard. I was talking to Rhonda about this morning. People are going to quit on you. Things are going to go sideways. You're going to feel sometimes like you're spinning your wheels. You just will. Like, the reason why you don't feel like you're spinning your wheels at a job is because you know that if you show up to that job for 5 hours, you're getting paid for 5 hours, right? Like, that's like, it's like security. It's like, you know, if you get paid for work 5 hours, you get paid for 5 hours. This is not the same. Like, I can't explain to you guys, and I know a lot of you guys are brand new, But just to give you an idea, like when I started this business 2 years ago, my first month that I worked this business, and I know when I say that, it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're in the moment of that first month and you're working and you're working and you're working and you're doing all the things and you're growing your network and you're talking to people and nobody's buying, it feels like you're spinning your wheels. And that's where like the weak mindset will be like, well, this isn't working. But you literally need to think like a business owner. Like business owners feel like they spin their wheels sometimes. Like it's not a straight shot to success. Like success is not this, right? Success is like that. And so it's easy to work hard when it's like this, but the real test is, are you going to work hard when you're here? Are you going to work hard when you're here? You guys, there's top earners in this company. I don't know if you guys know them, but Juri and Chad Kneller, I don't know if I'm saying that right. But she had like an ultimate comeback story. Like she was like a top earner, but then like it stopped. Like she like apparently dropped a ton. Like I don't know how much, but she dropped a ton. And when that happens, people's like ego gets the best of them. You know, people's egos get the best of them, and they're like, well, I'm not going to do this if it's not working. Like, no, if you want to be successful in business, you guys, you have to be the person that works really hard when you're here to be able to come on that up. Like after every dip, there's a peak. But in order for you to like get to that peak, you have to be willing to grow. And nothing grows at the top of the mountain. You grow in the valley. Okay? And you're going to have ups and downs in your business. You are. Like you just are. You just are. Like you just are as a business owner. And so I encourage you guys to really don't just like, what are you waiting for? Don't just sit there and like hope it comes to you, because I'll be the first person to tell you, like, if you sign up for this business, it's like buying a gym membership, right? It's like buying a gym membership. Like I could go buy a gym membership, but if I don't go to the gym, like what's the point? Right? Like you can't, I feel like some of you guys just have to really transition to that business owner mindset. You know, so you've been in for 3 months, let's say you've been in for 3 months. Let's say you've been in for 8 months. You guys, Cami didn't enroll her first distributor for like 9 months or something crazy, or didn't hit executive for 9 months. Now she makes over $100,000 a month now. But to make over $100,000 a month, to make $100,000 a month, to make $50,000 a month, to make $5,000 a month, to make $3,000 a month, like you have to be pushing as if you're making $5,000 when you're making $30, right? Like so many people on my team quit that first month because they just didn't see the vision. They didn't see it. I saw the vision not because I had an upline or not because I had somebody telling me that I could do it, is because I plugged into things. I looked at other people who were doing it and listened to them. You know what I mean? Like you just have to realize you can do it, but where so many of you guys are going wrong, I'm telling you. You guys have, like, I believe in every single person on this page, but I'll tell you, I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what's going to help you in your business. And where so many of you guys are going wrong, not so many, but where some of you guys are going wrong is you're just not being consistent. You have the qualities, you can do it, but you're just being lazy some of the time. And the key to success in this business is just not being lazy. You have to fit it in. You have to fit it in. Like, life is going to happen whether you do this business or not. I know you guys, like, I know things are going to happen in my life. Like, I know I'm going to go through times like where, say, my parents are sick, or like, you know, like my kids are sick, or maybe like say you fight with your spouse. Like you're going to go through things. And I know that even if I don't do this business, I'm still going to go through those things. Right? Even if I don't do, even if I don't do this business, I'm still going to have to deal with my kids being sick. Except now I'm calling a boss. I'm missing work. Like, I want you guys to really know what you have your hands on here. Like, it is insane how much this business will change your life if you just commit yourself. And when I started, I didn't ever fathom that it would be this. I just thought an extra $500 a month to help myself breathe a little bit easier. But it's turned into like complete freedom of our time. You guys, I can't tell you how good it feels to just be able to pay my bills. Like, I've never been able to do that. I've never had more than like $100 in my bank account before this business, you know? And you all deserve that. Like, you deserve that, but it's just not easy. And I don't ever want to put the expectation out that it's easy. Like, when you start this business, especially if you're brand new, you have to have momentum. Strong. Even if nobody else has that momentum with you, you have to have that momentum. And sometimes you're going to be casting a vision for people that don't understand it. But you need to work your business as if you're the only one that's going to do it for you, because nobody is going to come save you. Nobody's going to come do this for you. So I encourage you guys to weigh out your options. What happens if you're successful in this business? What does that look like for your family? What happens if you're not? Because really, if you want your business, if you want your life to change, if you want to have things that you've never had, you have to do things that you've never done. Right? And so for me, like when I feel like I'm not getting any results, I'm doing things to fix that. I'm being so intentional with what I'm doing. Right? That's where this list came in. I felt there was a time in my business, like a couple weeks ago, I felt like I was just going through the motions. Like I was going through my day-to-day list and I was like, okay, I need to switch something up. I need to pivot. That's what this business is about. When you have a roadblock or a glass ceiling to break through, you pivot. You learn how to fix it. You learn how to go around it. You learn how to change it. And that's what I did. When I felt like I was just doing the same thing over and over and over again and my results start happening, I was like, what do I need to do different? And that's where this list came in. And you guys, I've had like 5 people message me saying, thank you for doing this list because it's helping them too. So before I wrap this up, I'm just going to show you what I'm doing, okay? So I have a book, and every single day I write the date on it. So I'm going back all the way. I've got, I started April 25th, okay? So I write out a list every single day. So I'm going to go over like just what, and you guys can take a screen. I'm going to hold this up so if you want to take a screenshot, okay? Just like that. Just joking. Okay, so let's talk about the list. So I have the date at the top. So every single night I'm writing this out before. So I wake up, it's here, okay? So this is what I've started to do that is getting me immediate results. And you guys, what you're probably going to notice, even I noticed this for myself. When we had that daily list that we always just did every single day. It's easy to like get into the rhythm. You get complacent. Like, I'm going to let this one slide today. Or I'm not going to actually I've been doing this every day, but really you're not doing it every day. And I noticed that with me too, okay? So I have my story at the top. So I post at least 10 stories a day. Okay, Facebook, Instagram. So you can see I've already put one up this morning. I've checked one of the boxes off. Now, as I go through the day, I'm going to check each box off. And at the end of the day, if I only have 2 boxes checked off, well, that's probably why I'm not getting results, right? Then I'm going to grow my network, okay? So I have grow network, okay? Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm going to add 100 people on Facebook today. I'm going to follow 500 on Instagram. I'm going to follow 100 on LinkedIn. Now, I don't do all that 100 at once. So what I do is 10 at like an hour kind of thing. So I'll go into a group, add 10 people, I'll cross off that 100, and then I'll put 90 beside it because now I have 90 left to do, okay? Messages. So I have another category for messages. HAP. I am no longer messaging for host to post just to say that I'm doing it. It's like going to school, just say you're going to school. Why the hell would you do that? That's what I did. I'm messaging to get results. If I message 50 and nobody host to post for me, well, that's pointless. Like that didn't even do anything. I need to get 15 host to post up every single day. And I don't know if you guys can see, but in our host to post thread, our team already has like 600 and it's like the 4th or the 5th. I don't know what day it is today. But people are getting results for it. Like if I have to message 300 people to get 15 hosts to post up, well, I'm going to do that, And so then a lot of people are going to be like, well, I don't have anybody else to message. Well, then that's going to bring you right back up to this category. Your number may not be 100. You may have to grow your network by 200 people because that's where the consistency in this business plays off. Like host to post will never, ever end if you keep growing your network. Right? So that's where like an unsuccessful person will be like, well, I don't have anybody else to host a post. Okay, well then what are you going to do about it? That's like, you know what I mean? Like that's where you have to step in and like do something about it. Instagram, I'm messaging 100 people. Again, I do that 10 an hour. So I have alarms on my phone. Think about how quick I can do that. I'm going to be on the beach all day today and I'm going to get an alarm that says, bing, message 10 people. And I'm going to message 10 people. I'm going to cross that off. I'm going to put 90. I have like random little things that I have to do each single day that are just different from my day to day. So I had like to make a word swag picture for our signing distributor Zoom that we're doing tomorrow. I don't know what day it is. But I did that today. So I crossed it off. It feels good to cross stuff off. Interaction. This is something that's huge. I noticed my interaction was down. So instead of sitting there and being like, oh my gosh, my interaction is down, the sky is falling. No, I'm just going to do better. So I have interaction. I do it 5 times a day for each platform for 5 minutes each. So I download an app called Focus Keeper. It's just like it's like a clicker. You can have it in the background of your phone. So you can set timers. So I set it for 5 minutes and it just goes ding, ding, ding. It's for if you have ADD like me. and it just keeps clicking. So I know for 5 minutes, just while this is in the background, I'm interacting, I'm commenting and liking on Instagram. So I'm going through my feed, liking, commenting. I do it for 5 minutes. So I've already done that once today on Instagram, checked one of those boxes off. Now I got to do it on Facebook, right? And at the end of my day, I can look and be like, okay, I've got all this stuff done. I can feel good. And you guys, I've always been like very consistent. So when I say like I wasn't doing this, like I was still being very consistent. Focus keeper, yes. It looks like a little orange, like half an orange or something. I forget. I can post it in the comments after. But I forgot what I was going to say. I forget. I totally just lost my train of thought. That's what happens. This is why I have to have lists. But anyways, that's what I'm doing. I'm just interacting. I'm commenting. I'm liking. Oh, right. I remember what I was going to say. This business has a 3-month lag, okay? So the work, like that's residual income. Like if you've been like, let's say you promoted to diamond and then you started slacking. You're like, yeah, I'm diamond. Like I don't need to do this anymore. I'm good. You may be able to ride that diamond paycheck for a couple months, but eventually it will fall off 100%. If you are not still working, like 1000%, it'll fall off. This business is all about bringing new people in. People are going to leave. People are going to quit. People are going to give up. That's where consistency comes in. So if you're somebody that hasn't like been consistent and you're not seeing results, I encourage you to do this, but understand that you're not going to see results right away. It takes 3 months. Just as if you could ride a paycheck before it starts going away for 3 months, you can also start the momentum, start the ball rolling uphill, but give yourself at least, like give yourself 90 days of doing this regardless of the results. Tell yourself, even if not one person buys from me, I'm going to complete this list every single day. And I promise you will see results. But again, it's the mindset you have to have. Like some people are just going to be like, yeah, well, I'm doing it. I'm doing the list. I'm doing the list with no results. This is what I think when people say that. Either you're not doing the list because you're just taking a shortcut, or you're not doing something right, which could be the case, right? Like there have been people on the team that were really consistent and they were doing everything, but they weren't getting results. And so I was like, okay, screenshot me like some of your conversations. Like let me see what you're saying, because sometimes it's just like a little tweak of like something. Like the insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results, right? So like for host to post, for example, there's a point where my host to post were not doing anything. And like a lot of people were just like, oh my gosh, host to post doesn't work anymore. What are we going to do? And I'm like, no, dude, Lauren Berryman just promoted from like double to presidential in 1 month from host to post. So you better believe it's working. I'm just not doing it right. So I took my time, went to YouTube, watched her video, went to an event, pulled her aside and was like, you better tell me what you're doing for host to post right now. And bullied her into telling me, you know, like, I'm just like, you have to seek out people that are where you want to be. And she was getting results that I wanted. So I was like, what are you doing? And then I did it and I applied it and I'm still applying it. That's what this business is about, you guys. It's just not always going to be easy. Okay, anyways, I feel like I've gone off on like a rampage. I hope this helps some of you guys. I haven't even been reading the comments because I'm so ADD. Wave. Okay, I'm not going to wave. But anyways, just know I believe in you guys. You deserve what this business can bring you. Absolutely. I just encourage you to run for it and like never look back. You know, just go for it. If I can do this, you can do this. I'm telling you. And I know sometimes, like I remember I'd look at really successful people and be like, again, you tell yourself like why you can't be them. Like you can be the number one income earner. You can be a top 150 income earner. The only difference is time, the work that you're putting in, and like what hurdles you're willing to go through. You know, like when I was talking to Rhonda this morning, she called me the bounce back girl. I don't share it with you guys. Like I have had a lot of life going in this business, but I really believe like if I have drama or like something go on or I'm feeling down, I never go down to my team. I go up, which is what I encourage you guys to do. Like if you guys are going through stuff in this business, don't talk to your team about it. Go up, right? It's just bad energy. But I've definitely had a lot of stuff go on. And so when I reached out to her and she was saying like, you're just like the bounce back. Like you get hit and you fall down and you get back up. And that's what you have to do in this business. You just have to. Like the more that time you spend laying on the ground, like there's people walking over you. There's people passing you. There's people doing things. Like, you know, like, just know, like, you know, don't let it drag on. Like, if you have something happen or you're feeling upset or you're feeling frustrated, don't be scared to take a minute to breathe, right? Like, don't be scared to do that, but get back to it. Because the second you let that funk turn into like a day, 24-hour thing, now a week, people will see that. And then now you're not as credible, right? So when I'm going through a hard time, like, let's say let's just say something happens and I'm feeling down about it, I literally will just put my phone down for a bit, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I'll go hang out with my kids. I'll put on personal development. I'll put on something that just gets me fired up, and I just go. I just put one foot in front of the other. And the only thing that is going to change the funk is not going to be, like, you can sit there and pray about it. You can sit there and have good vibes about it, whatever you want to do. But really the only thing that's going to get you out of the funk is results. And so how you get results is action. You can't get results by thinking about how you want it. Right. And so, like, for example, like I had a whole emerald leg leave when I started this business, and it affected the team and blah, 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 blah. And it sucked, obviously, but I was just like, okay. I was like, now we're going to do power hours. I just, like, started the hype. Like, I just started the fire. I just started it. I was just like, okay, we're going to do this. And nobody really followed. Nobody was showing up to my Zoom, but I was just like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And you guys, 2 years later, we're a top team. Like, I'm telling you, just push through the times where you feel like it's not working. I promise you, you will always end up on top. But it's very much mindset. It's very much mindset. So, like, if you're feeling that you're saying, like, you know, negative things to yourself, or you're telling yourself you can't do this, that is just your mind. That's just your mind telling you, like, that's just you. So get your mind right, and everything else will follow. Okay? Okay, I'll be working all day. I'm going to shower. I'm going to go down to the beach. I got my list with me. I hope you guys choose to do this because it's helped me a lot. And then one more thing I wanted to show you, just for like a little tip. So every time I write the day in, I'm reading a message. Oh my gosh. Okay. Every time that you write the day, the following day, so if I have, like, today this was for my second, right? So I have on my list, always the day behind it, I have my leads. So people that I talk to during the day. And then, so one of the things that I'll add on to my list is follow-up. So what I do is I'll just scroll back like 4 days. Like, look at how many leads I got from one day. This is 1 day of leads from doing this. So that I just said, like, I have their name and what they're interested in. Some people want to order on May 4th. So what I do now is, like, I write that in this book. And at the end of the day, I go through, and if somebody had given me a specific date, I just pop over to my other planner and I will write them on May 4th. And then I have, like, a book. It's just really crazy. It's backwards when I screenshot it. Can you send me that? Yeah, I'll post a picture of this in our team page right now, okay? And then if you guys have any questions on it, just message or comment below or whatever. Okay, you guys, I'm excited, okay? And write this out every day for yourself. Like, don't like copy it. Like, I want you to physically write this out every day and check it off as you go. All right? Okay, we'll see you guys later. Bye.